Fuck, I'm old. All right. We are live. Mountain Dew makes me das Maschine. Hello, comrades. No, we're not doing that again. Me. In Soviet Russia, machine shoot you. Anyway. Machine lights a cigar with...
He lights a cigar with an AK-47.
So, anyway, let's try to act somewhat professional. Hello, everyone. It's me. It's your boy, Skinny Penis. No, it's Grant the Movie Into You guy. With have you not seen that video before?
I have.
With my boy.
It's Ben. I'm back.
Yay! I also remember to put your letterbox in the description this time. Yay! All right. Knowing me, it's probably going to have to. You're probably going to have to copy and paste it, but that's fine. Yay! So we just saw a movie that is apparently bad.
Yeah.
Apparently. What's up, Drew?
Yeah.
What's up? And it's actually not. I don't think, anyway.
No, I don't think so either.
So we saw The Machine. I guess I will do my usual describing the movie bullshit, and then we'll jump into this. What do you say?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, so The Machine is directed by Peter Atencio?
I'd say so, yeah.
Who did Keanu, I know that. Which, this is actually weirdly comparable. In a good way. Do you ever see Keanu, the one with, like, Key and Peele?
Yeah, and the cat?
A bunch of gangsters, yeah. So imagine Keanu if it involved a watch instead of a cat. So basically, this is the nobody to Keanu's John Wick.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
So, the premise of the movie is, for those who don't know, this is sort of a adaptation / sequel to Bert Kreischer's stand-up story called The Machine, or The Russian Mafia Story, which basically was him describing how on a college trip to Moscow in like the late 90s, he got really, really fucked up on booze and drugs and claimed to all these Russian gangsters who were supposed to be chaperoning them and be sort of almost like the RA on their trip, to believe he's the Machine. That's the name he gave. He was trying to say badass, he accidentally said the Machine. And so he didn't know very much, or any Russian really. And he robbed a train. Or he helped them rob a train while, well, let's put it this way. Helped them is a strong word. He was drunk off his ass and didn't know where he was while they robbed the train. So that became this viral story. And then we meet Bert Kreischer, who is playing himself. I'm sure heavily fictionalized version of himself. He is trying to sort of make up for his failings as a father in the eyes of his daughter and his wife. And his own issues with his own sort of deadbeat father, played, I think, in the best performance in the movie by Mark Hamill, so that he doesn't believe his story, and at his daughter's sweet 16, they have a fight, and then wouldn't you know it, this fucking smoking hot Russian chick comes to his house. Sorry, I had this symbol for a second. To his house and says to him, "You're the machine. You're the machine." Yes. He's like, "You need to come back to Russia to help me find my father's watch that you stole. He was one of the patrons on the train that he robbed from, and he stashed it somewhere, and he can't remember because he was high off his fucking ass. And so now they have to go back to Russia, and they're caught in sort of the middle of like a turf war among the Russian mafia." Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a long-winded way of saying a big fat shirtless idiot goes to Russia and bumbles his way into being a hero, basically. It's that kind of movie. So I kind of loved The Machine.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
like it
get
a
why
lot.
critics hated this. Now we saw this together.
Mm-hmm.
We had a wonderful little date night.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah. we had a really nice time, and by we I mean me going and you going. We laughed
Listen,
our asses off pretty much for 2 hours straight in this movie.
I enjoyed this movie. I laughed.
Me too.
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why you're making fun of it. My laugh during this movie.
They're peanut butter and jelly. I'm peanut butter and jealous, Ben.
Jesus fucking Christ! Do you want to taste the rainbow, Grant?
No, fuck you. I'm not tasting the fucking rainbow. Anyway, no, but here's the thing. All joking aside, here's the thing. You judge a comedy on does it make you laugh? And if you're asking me this, to paraphrase the Joker, I laughed. And I'm tired of pretending that I didn't. Because I laughed early and often in The Machine. And even when I wasn't laughing, I was having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a fun, low-budget B movie. However, what's funny about it is the actual action scenes and filmmaking in this are surprisingly kind of awesome. Like, it's a well-made movie. Would you not agree?
Oh, 100%, I'd agree.
Yeah. We lost Ben for a second, everybody.
Oh, sorry. I was sending the link to my friend, and I was listening to what you just said because there's like a 2-second delay.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I'm a fan of Bert Kreischer's work.
Me too.
And I think that this did justice to him as a. I have to think about how I want to say this. For a movie that's based on a comedian's joke that he sets in his shows, I think it did really well.
I think I like that description of it. I think also it's a one joke premise, but there's enough genuinely surprising and funny variations on that one joke to sustain a feature-length movie. Mm-hmm. It's not like Fool's Paradise where there really is only one joke and it's just shit happens to this one joke of a character for no reason. Mm-hmm. Like this actually, again, like this movie has more like gougings and decapitations than like some horror films. This is a surprisingly fucked up and gory film. Mm-hmm. Like one of the first things we see in like the first half hour is Mark Hamill literally chopping Bert in a fantasy sequence, chopping Bert Kreischer's nads off with a pocket knife, and then holding the bloody freaking testes up to him. Yeah,
that actually came after the pickle incident.
I think that was before.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it went with the pickle, and then the train, and then the nutsack.
I don't want to go into detail because that's one of the best, like, what the fuck gags in the movie, and I don't want to say what the pickle means because they won't be able to see the movie.
It was the same thing when we saw Cocaine Bear, right?
Yeah.
It was the same kind of gore and humor, and it was about a really funny person because Emily Blunt directed
Elizabeth
Banks. Sorry, right.
Emily Blunt, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Elizabeth Banks directed Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
And this is a movie about Bert Kreischer. So it roughly, I put those on the same level. Like if someone's like, I want like a kind of gory, funny movie that like was made recently, I'd say, okay, you see one of these two movies and you'll be fine.
I've had sort of this weird sensation this year. You know how sometimes in a movie-going year, because I especially see so many movies that you notice a trend where certain movies are sort of thematically similar. Like Air came out around and Blackberry and Tetris kind of all came out in the same month, and they're all good movies that are about like objects that are invented. Mm-hmm. This to me carries over what I think has been a trend in the first half of this year, which is the Grindhouse movie kind of making a comeback between like Cocaine Bear, Shin Ultraman, this movie, Polite Society, and like fucking Sisu.
I have the Polite Society poster in my room.
Yeah, have you seen the movie yet though?
I have not. We got rid of it before I had the opportunity.
It's really good. It's really good, and nobody saw it. It's a shame. It was really freaking good. It's like Scott Pilgrim crossed with a Bollywood movie. It's fucking awesome. But what I loved about this movie is the movie is absolutely ridiculous. It is. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that actually happened to Bert Kreischer. I find it hard to believe that all...
You don't think the Russian story thing happened?
No, I think he embellished a good deal. I maybe he went on a college trip to Russia. I think he was so fucked up that he fantasized that he was tangling with the Russian mafia. Yeah, I threw the gauntlet down. The thing is... It's a good story, that's for sure. But I don't think it's real.
I think it's real.
Too unlikely. Really, you do?
100%.
See, because I could bullshit a story like that if I wanted to. I've done it. And again, I like the fact that everyone kind of in the movie before the Russians show up just assume he's full of shit. Which is very funny. I also have to say, some really funny, quirky offbeat touches. I did not know I needed a MCR sound-alike cover of Torn by Natalie Imbruglia until I heard it. That was wonderful. It was kind of great. I know it wasn't MCR, but God, it sure sounded like Gerard Way. I don't know why. I didn't know I needed an entire gag about how fucking awesome Limp Bizkit was. That wasn't in a movie called The Fanatic, but I guess we got it. I also have to say that despite kind of loving this movie, there are flaws. Absolutely. First off, it is a well-shot movie. It's not always the best edited movie. Like, you can tell it's a low-budget movie, first off. Secondly, though I think it's very funny, and I do think it does balance the gore with the humor better than something like Mafia Mama, it's a little too long. Maybe like 5-10 minutes. It could have been an hour 40 easy, and it was like all of 2 hours almost, which was a little much. I also have to say, this movie is kind of a giant circle jerk to Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
It's like showing, it's like, that's also why, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Did you ever watch Chappelle Show back in the day?
I love Chappelle.
Okay.
I did not watch the Chappelle Show, but I love Dave Chappelle. You've
never seen Chappelle Show? You need to watch Chappelle Show. So, there's a skit on Chappelle Show where he's talking about, like, movies, because he's a big movie fan, and he's talking about his favorite movie of the year that episode was filmed as Antoine Fisher, and he said it was written by Antoine Fisher, and he says, I gotta be real with you. If I wrote the movie of my life, it would go something like this. And it was like, he was born with a dick the size of freaking, like, Neptune. He was like fucking Halle Berry, and Eddie Murphy called him and said, I think you're funnier than me. Like, that's this movie. It's like Bert Kreischer writing himself as the most badass motherfucker who's ever lived. That all these beautiful women, like, fall over. And also, it's a movie that lives in a world where I guess and this is my last kind of big major flaw with it. It exists in a world where not only is almost drinking yourself to death and snorting cocaine and other drugs nearly to death is not only a good thing, it gives you superpowers, which is kind of fucked up. And I'm not meaning to be an old scold, like, I know it's ridiculous, but I do question. My thing with it is, I don't have a problem with it of my own self because I know that it's a joke. I know that he's not actually saying snort as much cocaine as you want. I'm just worried that some of the dumber members of the audience are going to take that as, yeah, see, honey, I don't have a problem. It's like, no, dude, you have a fucking problem. Like,
yeah,
get
you got a problem, like, bro.
Right. You've changed, bro. But this movie, like, I'm just kind of amazed that this movie turned out as good as it did. I also should point out, this movie was not screened for critics. The embargo lifted overnight last night. So, it is like, there's like 12 critics who've reviewed this movie. It's at like 33%. And I kind of don't know why Sony kind of wanted to bury this movie. Because it's really not that bad. It's really funny.
Yeah, I liked it. And I'll keep on saying it because I don't really understand why I say they as critics
Yeah.
are like saying this like bad thing about this movie.
Yeah. Well, like, it's sort of the way I felt about Paint, where it's like, which I also kind of loved. And the thing is like, I said it in this and I said it before, it's like, I just have a feeling this movie, critics are not going to vibe with it. It's going to bomb at the box office. And then, like, 10 years from now, college dorm rooms are going to be, like, constantly showing The Machine. In the same way they'd constantly be showing Paint. It has that Nacho Libre... Paint had that Nacho Libre quality. This movie has that kind of, like, kick-ass quality to it. Where it's like, they're going to show... People are going to start having the poster of this movie on their dorms. Like, it's going to become a cult movie. I hope so. Like, it's one of those movies that I'm really glad I saw it. I thought it was really funny. And I liked it a lot.
I liked it too. And
not a perfect movie.
It was not.
Yeah. There are better movies in theaters right now this weekend than this.
Yeah. One that Grant really liked that just left our theater was Love Again.
Oh, fuck that shit.
You know what you liked even more than Love Again, guys?
No.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods Skittle commercial part 3. Yeah, no. I will respond to that with a catchphrase that is repeated often in this film and the stand-up. Fuck that bitch. This is Russia.
You called it.
I really
called it.
He was about to say it.
I was like, what the fuck?
Did you not remember that line? It was like his catchphrase and like all.
Yeah,
fuck that bitch. This is Russia. That was the payoff to the bit. Is like when the cops show up and they say they want to party with the Machine, and he says, "Wait, I'm not in trouble," and then he goes, "Nah, like, fuck that bitch.
Fuck
this is Russia.
This is Russia." Like,
I also have to say one criticism that I can maybe understand for this movie. Again, I just feel like it's a cartoon. It's a live action cartoon, right? But there is also an argument made for like, yeah, being a piece of shit makes you really cool. Is kind of also a message of this movie because there's like literally a moment where the character and in a more serious movie, I might even kind of hate it for that because where he says something like, "Yeah, you spit in a woman's face," and "Yeah, you got a lot of people in trouble," and "Yeah, you robbed people and stole their belongings, but no one died, so fuck it, you're a legend." And it's like, that's kind of fucking awful.
Yeah, like you probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
There's one scene, and I told you this in the theater, that really upset me.
Was it the pocket knife?
It was not the pocket knife. It was the scene that involved Igor, and it's when they go to his village and they go to the old factory, and after they get this item back, the main badass does this one thing that I'm like, what the fuck?
Try not to spoil it. Okay, but okay, you know what I took that as? I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't take that as preaching. I took that as a gag. I took that as like, oh, something happened and she's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I thought that was kind of funny, actually, because it's like...
No, I heard the music and I'm like, fuck this.
I didn't take that as sincere though. I took that as they were being smartasses. I didn't take that as it was being sincerely like, yeah, God is good all the time. I took that as
I think they meant God is good all the time.
or not dead. I found the thing I was looking for. Thank you, Jesus, because they're in a church. It's like, it's kind of funny, actually. I also love that. But yeah, this movie is totally ridiculous, and yet I'm gonna recommend it. And again, I have problems with it, and some of them are like fundamental problems that I think could make or break this movie for some. I get it. But dude, Mark Kermode has this test where he says, a bare minimum successful comedy has to make you laugh at least 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
On that metric, this is a really good freaking comedy. Because it made me laugh 6 times in like the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I laughed a lot.
Throughout. I mean, I don't think... There were some moments where we laughed so hard, I missed other jokes that followed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was still laughing. I was laughing. That freaking thing with the... That freaking, like, Family Matters joke made me laugh for, like, until I actually thought I was going to lose consciousness. Like, it was that funny.
Yeah, it kind of made me want to watch Family Matters. Like, a little bit. A little bit.
Well, it's the thing the Russian chick does with the I guess we'll say, because it's not really spoiler, but they're talking about how she loves Family Matters. And he's describing the episode that is clearly a shot-for-shot homage to The Nutty Professor. And then the little kid is like... They're all sleeping together in, like, this weird little... Because it's like this little, like backwater village. And they're on the mattress, and the kid is lying in the hammock. And this, like, little boy goes, "Did I do that?" And she goes, "Oh, you've seen it!" It's just like...
You get it!
And she's just like... Oh, it's just like a little kid. It's so cute. It's like... Well, and then the joke, I also thought was funny. And don't get offended. Like, it's okay. I love all of you. When he says, like, when she says something like, "I'm gonna rip out something along the lines, I'm gonna rip out his heart and make him watch his last breath or something," and he goes, and the dude's like, "What the fuck was that all about?" He goes, "I don't know, dude. I think she might be autistic or something."
I was like, oh fuck.
Like a minute straight. Like, that's really funny. What's up, Movies and Trains? How you doing, buddy? That caught me so off guard. That, and then later when freaking him and Igor, like, when she says something like I'm going to ascend to the empire or whatever, and he goes, "Man, I want to overhear what she says during sex," and he goes, "I want to have sex with her." Just like out of nowhere, like. Man, so I think it's fair to say that it's time to score now. I feel like we can score. I feel like we've covered the waterfront here. What do you give it, buddy?
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5. I am also giving it a 4.5. As I always say, I'm not going to go all the way, but I'm going to go pretty far. I'm sorry. I know that we're going to be the only 2 people on in the world who are going to go that high for the machine, but we just had a blast at it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And I also bet, you know what it's kind of like? You ever watch Jeremy Johns, the YouTube channel?
Mm-mm.
It's sort of like a high, this would be a good time if you're drunk, but if it was a positive thing, where it's like, if you got it, like, I was sober in this movie, I bet if you were really, 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 you'd give it 5 stars. Like,
yeah, if I was inebriated, I would.
Think about the couple who came in during the
oh my god,
and were inebriated and looked like they were about to fuck right there in front of us.
I'm gonna ask tomorrow about, like, hey, what happened?
Catch them in the bathroom doing the no pants dance like they did at the Fablemans. Like,
did you know the Fablemans is on Showtime?
Okay, like, the one streaming service they don't have anymore has fucking... I've been trying to get my mom to watch the fucking Fablemans since it's been in theaters, and it's just never happened.
I can text you my login.
Dude, are you serious?
I don't give a fuck.
Fuck yeah, bro. Because all the A24 movies are going, like, to Showtime now, and I'm like, fuck. Mm-hmm. Even the ones that are, like, exclusives. I got a free trial to watch After Gang, and then, when it expired, I'm just like, whatever, it's Showtime, who cares? But, yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Anytime.
But this movie, yeah, I kind of loved this movie. It's definitely going to be, like, an honorable mention in, like, the midterm for me. I really dug this movie. I just thought it was really funny. Mm-hmm. And funny is funny, and you laugh, thumbs up. Like, we laughed a lot. I mean, so do you want to talk about some trailer trash? Also, the mid-credit scene was hilarious, and sadly, we'll get to that. And sadly, you missed, like, half of it because of the obnoxious couple that just walked in front of us and was, like, stumbling drunk.
Yeah, it was... Did not.
Yeah. I honestly thought that the girl was Russian because the lights were off and it sounded like she was just slurring her words, but it sure sounded like she was speaking Russian. In case you're wondering, yes, Vladimir Putin does not like my channel. I gave 5 stars to Navalny. Do you also notice though? And I feel like I read it. You know what? I have a sneaky suspicion. So they never mentioned Vladimir Putin in this movie, or Putin in this movie.
Probably for a very good reason.
I have a feeling it's because Sony wants to release this movie in Russia, and they're afraid if they bring him up at all, it's going to get banned.
Probably,
yeah. Because I'm sure like this bit is pretty popular in Russia.
Oh, I bet.
Gabriel Iglesias was number 2 comedian in all of Middle East, and number 1 was Jeff Dunham. So anything is possible. I mean, it's
yeah.
All right, so let's talk trailer trash. Back on the strip. This looked like fucking shit. This looked really bad.
I think I gave it like I think I told you like 2 stars.
No, dude, you turned. I think I told you like fucking 0 stars. Like I can already tell. I'm gonna have to see this movie, and like I feel like. Do you notice that the credits? It's all these like nobodies, and then it's like okay, Faison Love, he's kind of funny, and then JB Smooth, okay, he's been in some shit, but he's funny, and then it gets to Tiffany Haddish, and I'm like, I bet she's in that movie like 5 minutes, and that's like the only 5 minutes.
What about everyone's favorite black superhero from the early 2000s, Wesley Snipes?
That's true, but then again, Wesley Snipes, his recent career trajectory has not been the best. Except for Double Mine Is My Name. Double Mine Is My Name was great, but everything else... yeah, Coming to America, I mean... It's funny because it's a... And I think I even at the time gave that a matinee. In hindsight, it was so not as good as the original that I almost feel bad about giving it a matinee. I didn't think it was horrible, but it was like...
It's kind of hard to beat the original.
Yeah, Coming to America is one of the funniest fucking movies ever made. So it's kind of like you're asking for it. You either have to do something completely different or get weird with your repetition like Anchorman 2 did, where it's basically Anchorman 1, but it's just really, really fucked up and weird and it's funny. Or you have to be self-aware that you're doing the same shit again, like 22 Jump Street, which is still the best comedy sequel ever made. So yeah, back on the strip. It's a bunch of it's like this kid and he wants to be a magician in Vegas and he's part of a stripper. And you know what the gag in the movie, the $10 gag in the trailer is, kids, did you know? Did you hear? They're all black people and it's called the chocolate chips. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. In 1996, that would have been kind of funny. That's so funny. Isn't that funny, Ben?
I'm laughing.
That's so funny, isn't it? Ha ha. It's so highly humorous. Quite.
Extremely.
Yeah. The other thing that was weird about this experience is that we got like 2 comedy trailers and then like a bunch like a bunch of like freaking art house movies. So we got that and then Poor Things, which Ben, you turned to me and said 3 stars, and I'm like, no, it's gonna get 5 stars automatically because it's Yorgos fucking Lanthimos. Have you seen The Favorite? The Favorite was awesome. Or Killing of a Sacred Deer, or like Dogtooth. Have you seen any of those? I don't think.
Killing of a Sacred Deer is also on Showtime, and actually, I have a side thing pulled up. I want you to guess how many A24 films are on Showtime.
Like all of them.
I found 47.
That's a sizable chunk. I mean, not all of them, because they've made like 100 freaking movies by now. But that's a good selection there. You know you're gonna get some good shit. But yeah, I think you've got to at least give me this. Poor Things doesn't look like any other movie you've ever seen. Like the trailer is really visually interesting looking. Also, it's Emma Stone. Like Emma Stone's always good. And then okay, I've already seen this movie, and yet it's not the one I saw at Sundance. Old Boy is getting a re-release. Yeah, it's the original Old Boy, not the Spike Lee one, the Park Chan-wook one, the Korean one, is getting a re-release. I'm guessing it's wide. I hope it's wide. Because dude, you said you haven't seen it, right? Old Boy?
I have not. And it's really weird because...
You need to see this movie, dude. You fucking...
When I saw Blackberry...
Yes.
Glenn Howerton did an interview, and he said he would love to wipe Old Boy from his memory and rewatch it again for the first time.
It's great, dude. It's great. Park Chan-wook, first off, is like one of the greatest fucking directors in the entire fucking planet. Like, Decision to Leave, his last movie, was my number 5 last year. So it's, dude, you gotta, dude. If it comes to Edwardsville, you gotta see it with me. Because I'm seeing that. I hope it gets an IMAX release or like a Dolby. Like, dude, that movie. And don't read anything about it. Go in as cold as the Antarctic. And it's just, dude, that movie is insane. It is. I don't even know if Edwards will get it because I'm pretty sure it's rated NC-17. This is kind of fucked up. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's really good. Strays, Red Man trailer, we've talked about this a bunch. It looks very, very funny. I'm sorry, I'm a child. I don't care. Look, my dog, I will tell you why I'm excited for this movie from my real life experience. My dog, Jojo. You've seen Jojo.
Have I?
Yeah, remember I was video chatting with you and I showed you her adorable, beautiful little eyes.
That's right.
The sweetest, cutest little baby girl in the entire world. Guess how we got her? Some asshat threw her and her litter onto the side of the road and they were in a forest somewhere walking around, just abandoned as strays.
That's not nice.
As newborns, they barely could open their eyes and they were tossed on the side of like a highway by some asshole. So, the premise of Strays is Will Ferrell, foul-mouthed talking dog, realizes he's been abandoned by Will Forte, who's his abusive owner, and he wants to go back and bite his cock off. I can get behind that premise for a comedy. Absolutely. Because I love dogs. Mm-hmm. I love dogs. And I want to do that to that person. I want someone to rip his penis off. So that, sorry to get graphic, but it's true. I get really fired up about dogs being abused. Like, it really makes me mad. You know? Mm-hmm. Sorry to get dark there, but it's just like, Transformers Rise of the Beast, I'm getting my ticket the second we say good night here. Can't wait.
I'm really excited for it. I love Transformers.
Thank Christ Michael Bay's only an executive producer again.
Dude, I didn't find the Michael Bay movies that bad. Like, yeah, they did not do everything like, you know, from the old stuff.
I'll give you the first one. The first one was good.
The third one? Dark of the Moon.
The last hour of the third one is fine. But it's the Deep Wang is fucking bullshit. Though. Deep Wang. Ken Jeong is kind of the only reason that was even kind of, but even then it was below his pay grade. And then, honestly, can I be real with you? I actually don't hate The Last Night as much as some people. I think it has its moments.
I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't.
Age of Extinction, though, to me is the worst. One of the worst movies ever. I fucking hated that movie. It was despicable. I mean, it was morally despicable, even beyond just being long and incomprehensible. I think it also didn't help that I had just had surgery, like, right before seeing that, so I was in incredible amounts of pain, and I had to sit in an IMAX for 3 hours with 3D glasses on watching that piece of fucking bullshit. And I love Jack Rayner. He's a phenomenal freaking actor. Like, look at him on Midsommar or Sing Street. You know, he's a good actor. But the fact that Michael Bay had to stop the movie dead to justify the fact that this grown fucking man was fucking this teenage girl. Like, really, Michael? You're gonna make a whole freaking subplot? Like, it just, that's one of those kind of moments where you want to, all you can think about is him Googling, like, how do we justify this? How do we justify this? And it's like Mark Wahlberg is doing the Happening voice the whole movie. It's just so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's not.
I gotta tell you, honey, you gotta care more about Transformers. Because you're gorgeous. You gotta.
Hey, guy. You should care about Transformers. You know, I was in a movie with Will Ferrell.
You're not going to, like, Optimus Prime is standing there like, you're not gonna rat on us to the authorities in our sleep tonight. What? No. Okay, moving on. I will say this: The Happening is a Knights of the Zodiac type of movie in that I can watch The Happening easily. It's not a good movie at all. It's hilariously bad, but it's hilariously bad and not like reprehensible. Like, it's just really like, oh, you tried something and you failed. Aw, poor movie. Also, you can tell that M. Night Shyamalan really wanted fucking hot dogs when he wrote that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, Transformers vs. Beast. Now, on to something I'm really excited for, Insidious the Red Door.
I was not a big fan. I have to think about it. Yeah, I have to think about the Insidious movies now.
The first one and the third one are the best ones. The second and the fourth one are fine. They're not as good as the first and the third ones.
I think I like Sinister more than Insidious.
That's fair. Here's the thing. Insidious, one of the reasons I'll always have an affection for the Insidious movies is, one, the mythology is just really rad. And two, the psychic woman is great. I just love that actress. And then three, the first movie did something that's kind of hard to do. It actually kind of creeped me the fuck out. It was actually
that was me with Sinister, because it's where the kids watch the videos, right? And that creeped me out.
Sinister 2 though was ass.
Yeah. There's only like one true horror movie that like really spooked me out. And that was The Conjuring.
Agreed. But see, James Wan. I mean, he directed. James Wan knows how to do it. I mean, he's really good at like actually like fucking you up after you watch a movie and like making you go home and go like, I guess I don't need to sleep tonight. Like, that's the thing in The Conjuring with the fucking clapping freaked me. The scene
that was the part that scared me.
That's fucking terrifying, dude. And see, there are very few movies that scare me. Saint Maud scared the fuck out of me. Because it could happen, first off. The other one, I know I'm going to sound like a pretentious snob when I say this, and I know that I'm in the minority. Skinamarink scared the shit out of me. Because it had this weird alchemy. I had the light, I watched it at home, the lights were off, and I felt like I was watching a nightmare I had when I was 7. And very few movies can make that happen for me, and I know it has no plot. I know there's no characters, it's just the room and weird shit happens, but it worked. It was creepy. Like it felt like a creepypasta if it was actually scary. Like it was really, really well done. But yeah, the Insidious the Red Door, I like that it's a sequel. I like that Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson are back and the kids are back from the first two. So that was cool. And then No Hard Feelings, which like I'm so glad that Jennifer Lawrence is back again between this and Causeway. I'm so happy that she's like in movies again and not like just. I'm glad that she's still in movies that, even if they're either good or at least look good again. Because after Red Sparrow and fucking Dark Phoenix, I was like, Jennifer, what are you doing? You're great. Why are you? I also just think that anyone who watched her on Saturday Night Live knows that Jennifer Lawrence can be really fucking funny. And you can kind of tell from this trailer. And also, the guy who plays the kid, I've never seen that kid before. He's really funny. I mean, he looks the part.
Let's see what that kid's name is.
Because, like, this he punches him in the throat accidentally.
His name is Andrew Feldman.
He's like the second coming of Michael Cera. He looks the part, dude.
And he is in High School Musical, the series.
Who does he... I actually watched that show. Who does he play? Is he like a main character, or is he like in only like 2 episodes or something?
I have to do some more investigating. He is Lumiere.
Okay. I think he had like a recurring role. The thing is, I will say this first and foremost. If you like High School Musical or you hate High School Musical, the musical, the series, you'll probably like.
I don't like how long the fucking title is.
Well, you know why it's that title though? Because people got really annoyed with it before the show came out. It's kind of like a meta show. Like it pokes fun at the fact that it's a show based on the movie about the musical High School Musical, but it's also kind of in a universe where the movie is a movie made by Disney, but they're also in East High is a real high school that they happen to shoot High School Musical in, and these are the students who are at the real high school. It's wacky, dude. And it gave the role Olivia Rodrigo. Like, how can you hate anything for that? I mean, that's a blessing. Yeah, no shame. That kid has a good voice. Her album was awesome. Like, it was. True. But yeah, I also like the fact that no hard feelings is clearly a pun because she's trying to fuck this kid. And he's like 19. Before you guys go crazy, he's like a 19-year-old kid. And she's Jennifer Lawrence. She's like my age. Like, it's a little weird, but it's not. And again, the circumstances of the plot also, I think, are kind of weird and fucked up in a funny way, where the parents like hire her to basically boink their son because he won't move out of.
She is a I don't know how to say it. Concubine? Yeah,
well, basically, she's like I don't want to say escort because that's kind of the wrong word. She basically. I'm going to say the wrong thing here because my man brain is working and the feminist brain isn't working. But basically, she's promised a car if she fucks their son enough that he wants to move out of the house. That's the premise of the movie. It's from the directors of Good Boys. So you'll know.
And I loved Good Boys.
Me too. You know, they have a show that they just put out that is great on Amazon called Jury Duty. It has James Marsden in it. That show is great. It's like a mini series. It's great. It's like a mockumentary, like fake. It's like a cross between like a sitcom and like a mockumentary prank show. It's really good. But yeah, just the pun of the title, no hard feelings. It's like, funny because it's a sex comedy. Whoa. And also just, I love any movie that. Some people hate these kind of movies. I love movies that do not abide by real-world logic. They abide by shenanigan logic. Like, this movie's kind of one of them, and, like, that movie Fist Fight with Charlie Day is kind of another example of a movie that a lot of people hated that I thought was really funny because it was just so of another world. Like, this would never, ever happen. But it kind of embraced how ridiculous and cartoony it was. I was like, yeah, okay, I can kind of fuck with this movie. Like, in a school where a teacher pulls out an axe and, like, chops up a student's desk while they're sitting in it, yeah, you get fired. But in a shenanigan movie, that kind of is fine. Yeah. So I think Ben is done with this review.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. I have another thing on the side of my screen because, like, we were talking about A24.
Yeah.
And I love them as a studio now because I didn't become, like, a really big, like, movie person until about a year or two ago.
Oh wow.
So I was trying to, over the like 7 or 8 different streaming services that I have, to see how many of their movies that are there. And there's a lot.
The first A24 movie I ever saw was, I think, their first one, and it was. There's a theater that we used to have where I was going to school called the Eastgate, which is closed now. But I had a group of friends where our schedules in our schools would and our lunch break would sync up, and our classes would often be canceled because our teachers just were kind of flakes. And so we'd commute. We'd always have the person with a car. We'd go to the theater and we'd see whatever was at the Eastgate, and it was for like a month. So we saw like fucking G.I. Joe 2, and it was like Good Day to Die Hard. This was like 10 years ago. And then the last movie, and we saw Movie 43, which I didn't hate as much as everyone else did. And then the last movie we saw that we all agreed was the best movie we have seen, and we decided that was going to be the last one, and it was Spring Breakers. And that movie fucking rules.
So their actual first film was A Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III.
Which I have not seen, but I hear that it's actually kind of awful. Because it has Charlie Sheen in it. Isn't it directed by, like, Sofia Coppola's, like, nephew or something? And it has, like, fucking...
It is directed by Roman Coppola.
Oh, it's her brother. Yeah. I watched the trailer and it, like, this looks like a perfume ad, not a movie. With Charlie Sheen in it for some reason. By the way,
got tiger blood.
Is funny too.
Yeah.
No, you turned to me and I was like, you said it out loud too. I was afraid someone's gonna kick our ass. You're like, got fucking tiger blood, man.
He's got fucking tiger blood, and it's fucking great.
You can't process me with a normal brain. Like I'm on a drug. I'm by winning. Like I'm on a drug. Like I'm on my own drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. No.
I love Charlie Sheen.
By winning, he does have
As
claim. The only joke in Scary Movie 5 that was actually funny, and it was the Scary Movie 5 is awful, but there was one joke. It's what I call the Bucky Larson grape scene, where it's like it's a comedy with no laughs except one, but the one laugh is so funny it almost kind of carries you through. And in Bucky Larson, it was Bucky Larson being verbally freaking abused by Kevin Nealon because he thinks he stole one of his grapes. It's just fucking hilarious for no reason. He just because it's the way it's timed because he busts through the door and he's crying on the pillow and he goes, like, did you eat one of my grapes? You motherfucker! He goes, like, you're pathetic! Is that why you're crying, you piece of shit? He just busts through the door. It's like, damn, that's funny. And this one, it was in Scary Movie 5, they do a Paranormal Activity parody with him and Lindsay Lohan, and they do like the epilogue text where they say like, and it says that their bodies were discovered the next day, but Charlie's ghost kept partying for another 3 days or something. And that was the one
Scary
joke
Movie
that
5.
got me. It was like,
I love Scary Movie 5.
You love it. Do you love it in the same way that I love Knights of the Zodiac, or do you love it?
It is a scary movie.
Not really though, because you don't have Anna Faris or Regina Hall in it, so it's not really even a scary movie.
But like the scene with Cat Williams and he's kicking the table,
okay, that was
it kills
kind
me.
of funny where he's robbing
it kills me every fucking time.
Well, it's Cat Williams. I mean, Cat Williams is just a funny dude.
I also love Cat Williams, so like,
like Father Figures, that movie with fucking Owen Wilson. I don't remember anything about it except the very end of it because it's Cat Williams, and he's the universe. He's like a mystical kind of otherworldly character, and they open their phone up and it's just his head like floating in front of him. He goes, "Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, the universe. I told y'all you knew me. By the way, the Illuminati's real, motherfuckers." Roll credits. It's just like that was the one line that got me. All right, so let's talk shawarma now and go home because it is now 47 minutes of us.
Yeah.
A good 30 of those minutes probably is just us talking about trailers. So yeah, that is the last trailer. Okay. And then was there shawarma? Yes, there is a scene during the credits and it's very funny. Worth sticking around for. There's nothing after, but there is during. There's like one scene. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
We covered everything. So tomorrow we will have back-to-back reviews. I will, not the two of us, unless you can get off work early.
Dude, I'm working till 1:30. Nah, bro.
1:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
So Kandahar, I'm seeing that, which doesn't look that good, to be really honest with you.
No.
I do love Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler!
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler! For those who doesn't know, when I hit 300, I posted on my socials, "This is Sparta." This is Sparta! But yeah, I like him. I actually liked Plane a lot more than I thought I would. I think I gave it like 4 stars. But this doesn't look very good, but I'm seeing it. And then also tomorrow we're seeing About My Father with Robert De Niro and Sebastian Maniscalco, which is also based on a stand-up bit. This is the weekend of stand-up movies. Weirdly enough, I don't know how that's gonna go, but all I know is the eating the peacock gag made me laugh pretty hard.
I laughed at that too when I saw the trailer.
That was a nice like catching you off guard. Like I don't know if it's well in the movie, but in the trailer it was funny.
I feel like if I were to take my dad to see a movie, that would be the movie I would take to see him to see.
That's fair. I kind of see that. I would probably, if my dad was here, I'd probably got no dad. If my dad was here in town, I probably would take him over to Fallon to see It Ain't Over because I fucking love that movie, and I feel like he would too because it's like about baseball and it's
because like my dad's humor is like Big Mama's House, Ted. He really loves Bad Moms Christmas. Like He
I
like
like
he
Bad
really
Moms. Bad Moms Christmas was kind of but it was fine.
he loved it. Like not ironically, like he unironically loves that movie.
Did he like the first one? Because the first one's actually pretty funny. I like the first one.
He every time I'm like, Dad, you want like what movie you want to watch? And he's like, let's watch Bad Moms Christmas. I'm like, is there anything else you would rather want to watch?
It's February. It's February, Dad.
I'm like, it's like March. He also really loves Tommy Boy. So like those like he'll stick to like those 10 like stick to like up to like 10 movies that he'll watch all the time.
But dude, that's nothing to be ashamed of. You just listed
No.
out of those 4, like 3 movies that are actually funny movies. Big Mama's
They're
House.
really great movies.
Ted is one of the best comedies like ever, as far as I'm concerned. And Ted 2 is also. I'm sorry, I love Ted 2. I know it's not as good as the first one, but I like it.
Right. But like it was those movies that like I'm like, okay, yeah, like I feel like this is a movie he'd want to watch.
Right. I'll tell you this. This movie is not going to be. I already know what my film of the week is. I don't even have to guess. It's you hurt my feelings. It's going to be my film of the week this week.
Seinfeld the movie.
No, more like Enough Said 2 Electric Boogaloo, because like I said in my review, it's basically a spiritual sequel to the Nicole Holofcener Center Julie Louis-Dreyfus film from 10 years ago, Enough Said, which is great also, and you should totally rent it. But it's, so I will be seeing that. Monday, we are reviewing the film Reality, which is supposed to be really good. It's been getting a lot of festival buzz. It's on HBO.
You mean Max?
No, HBO Max. Fuck that shit. Hey, everybody. What can we change at WB Discovery? What can we change? Well, we kind of left Evil Dead Rise to kind of go to theaters when it wasn't ready, even though it was good because it bombed. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, we kind of made all these great animated series, lost media, and then shat on the animators. Yeah, maybe we could fix that. And he goes, I have an idea. Let's update our service and make the app shittier. And the only positive thing is that you can turn autoplay off now. Yay! We're Warner Brothers and we did it. Fuck you, David Zaslav. Anyway.
I don't mind the Max app. I like it.
It's really long. I prefer the HBO Max one, but that's fine. Look, I'm going to keep it because HBO is the greatest TV network ever. And Barry, the finale, is like freaking tomorrow. So, like, or the day after tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm going to keep it, but man, Warner Brothers as a corporation is kind of becoming like Disney now. Mm-hmm. And I can see that. Because I'm still holding out hope that Barbie will be good. Please be good. Please don't get your stir pot. Because I don't know if you've seen the new trailer for Barbie that came out like yesterday.
I did see that.
It looks great. Like, I actually like the plot. Like, it looks like a really neat. It's about death. It's sometimes I think about dying too. Barbie. Like, that's basically what it is. But yeah. The movie's on HBO Max. It's about. It's a biopic of Reality Winner, who was a real life woman who basically either is in jail or was in jail because she basically was the whistleblower of Trump's election fraud in 2016. And this is a film with Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria playing her. And it's supposed to be really good. And then Wednesday is Shin Kamen Rider in O'Fallon. I know. And then next week we got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and the Boogeyman. Ooh. And if it's at the Draft House, because I highly doubt it's coming to Edwardsville, my aunt said she wants to go to the Draft House after my doctor's appointment, and I said, maybe if Blackberry's still there or Past Lives is playing there. So if Past Lives is showing, I'm going to go see that at the Draft House. Or if it's in Edwardsville, I'll see it in Edwardsville. You know, you never know. We could get it. We get A24 movies.
Yeah, we do. We get them a lot.
Like Beau is Afraid came to us, I think, like a week after it initially opened.
That's in my room too, in the poster. It's over there.
Beau is Afraid is. Let's put it this way. You got on me. The fact that Beau is Afraid now is number 19 on my top list shows how good of a year of movies this year has already been.
And it's only May.
It's only May.
It's only May.
Dude, I had this thought the other day because we still have like Asteroid City coming out. I just had this thought. When I do the midterm report, which by the way you're totally invited to, when I do the midterm report this year, I'm gonna have like a top 30 or something at this point. Like, by the end of June, I'm going to have seen like so many great movies probably. Mm-hmm. I'm already at like 23 movies I'm giving 5 stars plus to, and like
I have to look at my letterbox and how many movies I've seen this year.
Let's put it this way: this shows the scale of it. The lowest 5-star plus movie I gave was Creed 3, a movie I loved and said was like the best Rocky movie. So that shows, and John Wick Chapter 4 I think is right next to it. So it's just been a fucking good year, dude. It's already. But yeah, that's all coming up. We keep digressing from the point, Ben. We're almost an hour in now.
I've seen 14 movies this year.
And number 1 is Beau's Afraid, I'm guessing. But you said number 2 or number 3 is Blackberry, right? Because I got him to see Blackberry. He had to go out of the way like I did. But he finally saw it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to see it anyways.
All right, Ben. We're gonna dedicate the last half hour of our 17-hour stream to you reviewing Blackberry.
I already. You know what? If you want to see my review of Blackberry, you can check my Letterboxd profile.
How about this? See The Machine, but if your theater is showing Blackberry, fucking see Blackberry first. Yeah. It's gonna leave sooner, probably. Knowing, if we get Blackberry like in a couple weeks, it's gonna last till like Wednesday of the following week, and it's gonna be out of that shit. Like, it's gonna be like The Worst Person in the World, where it's there long enough to have me and one other dude see it, and then like bounce. But that's it. I think we can call it a night now, don't you think?
Indeed.
I think we're good. So Ben, where can they find you?
You can find me on my Letterboxd. I'm also tagged on the Instagram story. But I'm not as active on my Instagram as I could be.
Yeah. You said Letterboxd.
You say my Twitch link too, but like again, I'm not streaming as much as I should be either.
I put your YouTube channel in there, like I always do.
Yeah, and there's still a video on my hard drive of me playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War that I still need to edit, and that game came out 2 years ago. So.
Oh, by the way, before we go, I have one more announcement to make. So, in the next couple of weeks, if I can get it to work, I'm not promising anything. So everyone who watches this channel regularly knows my buddy Becca Sandergaard. She lives in Vancouver, and I believe it's Vancouver, and she has been talking about this film that played at TIFF called I Like Movies. It is going to be available to stream in Canada like 2 weeks from now. It doesn't even have a release date in this country yet, and she said she is going to literally just straight up send like a file of the movie so I can watch it. So we might have a first review in the United States who didn't go to TIFF review of I Like Movies with me and Becca Sandergaard reviewing it together coming up. So we can give you like the way ahead thing of what we thought of it probably a good year before most people get to see it. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow, and like, subscribe, do all the things. You guys know the drill. And that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Greg, the movie and TV guy.
And I'm Ben.
And I see it all, sometimes with him, and I'm happy to share it with you. Now I want to know what you guys think down below. What did you think of The Machine? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think our opinions are good? You think we're full of shit? You probably will. The first comment we get is from a guy with a gun as a profile picture, like, hey, bro, this movie was you hated fucking Furious, but you like this piece of shit. I'm gonna kill you. So yeah, comment below, let me know, and until we meet again, we're all raised on popcorn. Big mouth, extra butter. Take care of your mental health. Have a wonderful night, and take care. Say bye to the people, Ben.
Goodbye.
Good night, everyone. Bye.